Uh-huh. Now, see, now I can't hear you. Now I can, yeah. Now I can. All right. Oh, okay. All right. Sim's trying to get his audio issues going. He's having an audio issue, so if you guys can't hear him, that's basically he's trying to correct some stuff on his end. Um, so until he's able to get that back up and going, um, basically, I mean, you already know what time it is. Y'all know what time of the year it is. You didn't see me talking about it. Heck, I just got done streaming a few minutes ago. So we're up here talking about this Madden NFL 19. Also, we know that the 2K information was dropped. We'll definitely touch base on that on the back end, but this is the big thing right here. Y'all know it's Madden season. You know it's that Madden time. So, but right now, as you can see, you can't see us on screen, so you just basically be hearing from us at this point in time. Once Sim got his issue back up, then his audio back up and going, then we'll definitely break bread. But we are going to be talking about, as you guys, even for those of y'all that already seen the description, you
Check one
guys
two
see.
one two. Check check check.
All right, how about that? Can y'all hear? Can y'all hear Sim?
I think they can hear me now. Look at me now. Look at my dub. Confirm that you guys can hear me, man, and then we'll move forward.
Yeah.
Just somebody give us the quick thumbs up, and we shall move forward. And in the meantime, I'm gonna adjust my audio a little bit here. Turn it up.
So let me know, guys. Y'all can hear him? Okay, yeah, he heard you. Okay, they heard you.
Loud and clear.
Yeah, they said they could hear you.
Omaha,
All right.
Omaha. All right.
Right.
All right, I'm gonna
All
turn the
right. Bet.
turn my mic up, turn my music up, and I think we should be good to go here. Let me turn the DBs up a little bit here. All right, guys, we are back. Technical difficulties, as you can see. Appreciate Smitty holding us down while you couldn't hear or see neither one of us. So yeah, basically what we're gonna do tonight, man. I threw this little fancy thumbnail right there. It's from the game, just to give it a little bit of life. And like Smitty said, man, we're gonna definitely touch on Madden 19. What we really want to do. I know we have a couple people who want to come on the show. NY Kiyah wants to come on. My man Nightmare Nighthawk wants to come on. I think Deron Smith hit me up earlier. He wants to come on. Yeah, so anybody who wants to come on, basically what we want to do for you guys tonight, let you guys talk. For you guys who've had an opportunity to play the game, we want to stay as far away from it as we can in terms of the quote-unquote biasness. So I want to hear what you guys have to say, as well as me and Smitty will chime in on the things that we're seeing so far that is promising and things that definitely needs to be worked on, etc., etc. So that's what we'll do. So Smitty, man, before we even dive into that, and I'll check the chat here and see who wants to come on and get everybody's Skype names. I believe I got everybody. How you feel about football being back tonight, man? We
I
back.
mean, hey, it's cool. It's been a long time. So, but I'm glad that we are in. We are in there, and hey, it's back. It's not. This is a period we're looking at to see who's gonna make what teams and everything. And the key thing is that people just stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
just stay healthy. Make it to the regular season. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't see people announce retirements and stuff like that, and they're very young. Like, that goes to show you that football has a very short span. Like
Yeah.
you have a very short lifespan in football. That's why even the Madden stuff, people seeing, man, it looks like every single hit is a hit stick tackle. I'm like, nah, they're showing you the brutality of football. It's rough. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we've been missing from the game is seeing that the true brutality of the game. So just a little something to talk about. But we we're gonna dive into that. But no, I mean just the mere fact that it's back. I don't put the most value in it, but at the same time, I'm happy to see it. It's just like, when it comes to the NBA and preseason games, like I really don't care too much for them. But at the same time, it's like, yo, basketball season is back. It's the same thing here with football. And I mean, the other thing here too is football doesn't have nearly as many games. So I'm very, very glad and very excited to see that. Yes, football is back, and can't wait to just to see what goes on the field, see what storylines, what storylines that are already developing, how those play out, but then also new storylines and things that happen during the course of the season. Who's gonna rise? Who's gonna be some rising stars? Who are some guys that are gonna come up and be some, key role players, as well as they could develop into stars or become key rotational pieces, or
Mm-hmm.
even key starting pieces. Because as we know, football is a rough sport. That's why they draft and sign a lot of depth because of what happens during the course of the season. Players get injured, people get hurt, things like that. So definitely want to see what happens. But yeah, I'm excited, man.
Yeah, I am too, man. Who is it? The Brown? No, it's Ravens and who? The Bears
Ravens and
tonight.
Bears. Yeah, Ravens and Bears.
Man, it's gonna be interesting because I forgot RG3 is on the roster. So I mean, I'm sure he's playing for a roster spot. I'm sure everybody is looking forward to seeing Lamar Jackson. But like you said, man, I'm just happy that football is back. And yeah, injuries are already affecting every team. The Steelers got a couple little minor things, nothing extremely serious. But I think I heard that the Bengals had like 2 or 3 players carted off the field just in one practice. I mean, it's that time of the year. You're gonna lose some people. I think what's the kid from the Chargers? Jason Verrett. I think he's done for the
Mm.
season already. A blown Achilles. I think it's tough, man. But as a fan of football, I'm glad it's back. Um, and yeah, that's about all I can say. But without further ado, man, because we got started a little later, guys. We had some technical difficulties. We definitely want to try to get as many of you guys on the show as possible. And there you have it. So let me know when you guys are ready to come on. I just sent out a message to NY Kiyah. So Kiyah, let me know when you're ready, man. I'll make sure I shoot you the invite on Skype. Same thing with Nighthawk, and the same thing with Deron Smith. Nighthawk, I'm not sure if I have your Skype. Because I think the last time we had you on, I can't remember if it was Skype or not. So, you can shoot me a DM or whatever on Twitter to make sure I got that, and we'll get you on. We'll start off light, Smitty. Let's go with some of the things that, 1 or 2 things that are jumping out at you early in terms of things that need to be worked on. I guess let's take that approach first.
But definitely, what needs to be, things that need to be worked on. Oh, excuse me. Pass placement, you know, definitely something that I talked about from the beta, and I pointed out in the streams. Um, when it comes to the defense, okay, when the defender is in the vicinity, I like the passes get thrown as if that defender isn't there, especially when it's like basically a middle linebacker lurking around, and it's as if he's always able to make a play on the ball, usually Pickett. We need to have a bit more control over what can be done, as far as what like being able to place that pass. I know we
Mm-hmm.
don't have the total pass control. I know that's gone. or the target passing. I know that they took that mechanic out, but it feels like nothing was replaced. You know what I'm saying? Like in its place, what was done with the passing. So it's not like, there isn't this great or vast refinement as far as what we have there with the passing. Secondary thing, the trenches. Like, we always say, look, games are won and lost in the trenches. Some of the problems that I have with the trench is that the logic. Players are leaving blocks wide open. I mean, they're just leaving the assignment wide open, letting them shoot right in, and they just stand there. You know what I mean? The O lineman, not O lineman necessarily that I've seen, but primarily it's happening when it's halfbacks and fullbacks. They're not necessarily chipping, or at least getting in the path of the oncoming rush. They're not really rotating around. I'm not saying they should have eyes in the back of their head, but when the defenders are right there at times, you see them just shoot right in and get in for the sack.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Or they hurry up, they make you rush that throw because of it. So those are two things. There's more, but those are two things that jump right out.
Yeah, let me see. I can share those sentiments very much so. Let me see what else do I feel like jumps right out. I'll take a different approach only because, we always want to keep it well rounded to make sure we're hitting all points. I agree with Smitty on all of those. RPM. It's interesting. You see moments where it's beautiful. I have a video probably coming soon where, it was in my stream, matter of fact, last night, the Saints game. If any of you guys watched that, when I was controlling the linebacker and, I took myself out of position, Cam Newton threw it over the top, but I broke it down in that video, and what I'm probably going to do is just go clip it, just pull that part of the video, download it, cut it up, and just throw that back up. It was phenomenal. The way I couldn't, change direction all of a sudden. I didn't have enough speed to get there. It showed every step. I'm seeing it at times. But there's other times where, especially when you're looking at players that are away from the ball or whatever, even the DBs, the techniques are there. I know, A-Dub and the animators, they worked on a lot of that. And I'm probably going to make a separate video explaining it. But you see the technique there. You see it happening, but the gliding over the field is still present. I just don't know what EA is going to have to do, the Madden devs or whatever, to do to fix that. I don't know what the issue is. If you look at NHL, that's not fair. They're on ice. Y'all remember I used to say that they're on ice, so they could be cheating with the movement. We'll never know. They sliding anyway. But you look at FIFA, and is there sliding at times? Sure. In every video game there is. In all of them. 2K basketball, in live. All of them. There is no game that I've played where the foot is actually the physical aspect when it hits the ground, where it's really being accounted for. FIFA comes very close. PES, super close. But you really see it as real prevalent, man, in Madden at times. And when you look at the replay, it just, you see where they're stepping. So the RPM, it's like the real player movement and motion is there. But it's missing the concrete of, connecting the field and the foot. So I need them to really address that. I don't know if that's something that can be addressed via patch, or if that's something that's just the way it works, or if that's something that they have to work and deal with over time. I don't know. I would assume, RPM, I would assume will get them closer to being able to get that component. But you're going to see that from time to time. That's a little nerve-wracking. Trying to think of the negatives as well, Smitty. A couple things that, we'll let everybody else talk, and then we'll come back and give our positives later. Outside of gameplay, I just feel like the Madden development team as a whole, and I'm not talking about at the dev level. I'm talking about everybody who has something to do with Madden, right? They have this habit of starting something and not finishing it. And to me, presentation. It's the same. It's been the same presentation now for about 3 years. So it's a little upsetting. It's a little disappointing to see that it's the same feel. Now, I know some people will say, "Well, you can say that about other games too." Yeah, okay, I get it, but I'm just a little tired of that right now. I'm tired of it still having the same exact package, and not to mention just that, Smitty. I'm also hearing this because I heard it in the beta. The commentary. Commentary hasn't changed much. Since they added Charles and Brandon, and we didn't really see a leap, in my opinion, last year, and we're not hearing it again this year. It's kind of the same thing. Now, we got to dive deep into the game and see. I know they're going to have more taglines and storylines, et cetera, in CFM, but I'm just talking about the generic lines that are still there that are even said when it's not. That's not what's really happening on the field. Like, I got a gameplay coming, man, when I'm doing Lamar Jackson against Mason Rudolph. I'll probably upload that tomorrow. And, they just continue to talk as if it's Roethlisberger or, you know what I mean? It's like, there's no, they might say a couple things here about Mason Rudolph, but then they really didn't talk about Lamar Jackson and some of them same lines. Yeah, well, like my old coach used to, it's like, come on, man, we need some more. Like, I thought that changing up and having these guys in the office together, we would produce more content, which it was great that first year. But I haven't seen that leap forward since that initial, implementation. So those are the glaring things that jumped out. Outside of what Smitty said, absolutely I'm on board with that. But the RPM, man, I see there's some bright spots and there's some ugly spots. And just the whole presentation package is just blah. And guys, keep in mind, we're not talking about things that are not in CFM. We're not talking about that. We all know, and those videos are coming where we're gonna start. We'll actually do a dedicated show after the game has been out for a minute. Everything that's missing and what the must-haves need to be for 20. So we're not talking about things that obviously we know is not in CFM. We're talking about from the game that we have that's being presented. What do we dislike? What do we like? That's all we're talking about. All right. Do you have something else, Smitty? I'm going to go ahead and bring some of these guys on.
Oh, no. I was going to say, like, as far as the presentation package, honestly, in my opinion, I think it's better. There's more there. Yeah, because the thing is that there's camera view perspectives that people don't see because they exclude them primarily. We all do. This is stuff we do. But there's presentation stuff when the teams come out that looks better, even with the commentary, like there are subtle things that they do talk about that I'm saying myself that they say, and it's like they're doing that as well in the game. But is it this fully blown out, like, yo, this is completely brand new? No, it's not like that, but it is for progression that I can actually take in what's going on with the game. And, one of the interesting things was that, even from what was said in one of the streams, was that they were feeling more of a 2K-esque kind of vibe with how the presentation is coming about. So it's not like it's there, but you're seeing those elements where it's like, if I leave the stick down and I actually just watch it, and even when it comes to in-between plays, looking at replays and showing the different views and angles, like I purposely would do that. Yeah, it makes the game take longer to play, but at the same time, this is stuff that we normally don't notice because we usually hit X, let's go to the next play, boom, 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 let's go. So for those, that's why I show that stuff on purpose, and I even took it in and I'm like, okay, I see they're doing some work on the presentation. Like, it's not on that level, but it's clear to see. It's clearer. I should say, it's clearer to see the stuff they're moving forward with. It's just not, you know what I mean? It's not that full blown. Okay, I gotta stop what I'm doing because did you hear what he just said? Like, or yo, look at this. Like, it's not the mind blowing, just boom. We're just, our socks are knocked off in terms of what they did. So, you know.
Yeah, man. And see, I definitely respect that. And this is great, guys. Cause see, this we're definitely going to go down this path later on in the show. Everybody's perspective is different. I feel like, but I agree with Smitty. There are some more nuances, the camera angles, like even that little spinning one. Like if you have a good, have you seen that one, Smitty? Like you get a touchdown or a big play, and it does that rotate.
Yeah,
I like it. I guess what I'm hung on is just the part that's there that we all have seen. I would like to see that evolve. I guess that's you know what I mean? Like that's probably like this. It's the same run out when they run by the scoreboard at the end of the game. And, at the end they do go in the tunnel. But it's like I wish they would build up more on those elements like they did in what was it, 12? One of those games where they had which game was it where they had the side by side comparison to the quarterbacks and stuff? They don't really do that as much no more. Or I guess what I'm saying is it's still the same. I just would want to see them grow what they have. And that to me is where I think they've dropped the ball a little bit, even with like Living Worlds. I mean, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. But yeah, go ahead, man. We got Kiyah in too, so Kiyah, come right in right after. No, go ahead, Smitty. Okay. Come right in after Smitty, Kiyah.
No, the only thing I was gonna say real quick is that I already know in the chat people gonna lose their mind because he said, "Oh, you said 2K and Madden in the same sentence and same breath. That can't be possible." Hey, I mean, I know people gonna always wild out on that, but the thing is that despite the presentation aspect, the thing is that the gameplay is undeniable, and we're showing y'all. That's why the videos that y'all seen before, you're not really going to see it as well. Looking at it on YouTube and all that stuff carrying on. It's something that you really got to play. You really got to play to really appreciate, and you got to feel what's going on. That's why when you see us doing the instant replays and showing y'all all that stuff, this is what we're talking about. Like, it's something you're going to have to play and feel to really appreciate and value what's going on in the game. You're not really going to get it verbatim just by looking at the screen and that's it. So, that's a big part of it right there. But like I said before about the presentation stuff, it's like I said, it's not exactly where it needs to be at, but they are building upon it in the right direction. And the whole camera rotation thing, that's tight because that reminds me of PS2 Madden. You know what I'm saying? When you go to pick the ball off and all that stuff, they would rotate the camera as you're about to make that play and then do it. So it's like, okay, they okay. Like I see what they doing with it.
Yeah, you're right about that.
It's not bad for them to do that kind of stuff in the game. And then even when it comes to scoring touchdowns, looking at the overhead view like of the goal line as you cross it. See, if you're just quick to hit X and all that, you're not gonna see any of that stuff. So that's what I'm saying. These are the subtleties that when we talk about NFL 2K5 and APF, this is when you leave the stick down on the ground and you watch what happens. But typically, when you just hit X and you're just skipping through everything and just saying, oh man, the presentation, they ain't do anything. It's like, it's hard really to value that. And I mean, when I watch streams primarily from a lot of people or people that are playing the game, they're just smashing X to get to the next situation. So it's hard to value any presentation work they do, period, if we don't really take a step back and look at it at that. So, but go ahead, Sim or Kiyah. Or go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Let's introduce Kiyah. Yeah, we can hear you guys. Y'all know who he is, man. But I've realized, guys, that I got to stop acting like it's only those who are familiar with us that watch or listen to the show. So they say, hey, man, sometimes you should tell us who you are, who Smitty is, who your guests are. So for any of you guys that don't know who NYKiyah31 is, I don't know what to tell you. If you've been playing Madden, like I said, it's not about the size of the channel. It's about the information. And Kiyah gives some of the best information. Ex-football player. I believe he's coached football, very knowledgeable. So we always like to hear from him because he's going to tell you the good and the bad and the indifferent. So that's who NY Kiyah is, guys. So there you have it. Take it away, Kiyah.
What's going on, gents?
Nothing much,
Hey,
man.
what up?
Yeah, well, thanks for the introduction. I'm just former bootleg high school position coach and who knows a lot about football and plays Madden. So in some course, it makes me a bad guy, a guy who knows football, who plays Madden and gets enjoyment out of it. But hey, what can you do?
Right.
But anyhow, as far as the game right now, I don't have the game right now. I might have it tomorrow if I'm lucky. But one of the things that, well, a couple of things immediately stuck out to me. One, I was actually surprised coming from the beta, the upgrade in the tackling.
Yeah.
The beta was kind of in between what you saw in Madden 18 and what it is as of right now. So I wasn't really expecting it to be as crisp as what I've seen so far. It's, and Smitty touched on this earlier, it's a lot more physical looking game than we're used to seeing. It's also a slower game than we're used to seeing. I think part of the physicality is because of, I think part of the slowness is because of that increased physicality combined with how the game is moving. The way the game is moving is already changing the way people are playing the game. And I hope it stays that way. It's changing the way people run the ball. It's changing the way people are playing defense. Guys aren't roaming the entire field with the middle linebacker anymore. Guys are having, if you press the sprint button, you better be in the open field, or you better have an alley that you can cleanly run through. Otherwise, you're going to be smacking into bodies. That's changing the way people play on a fundamental level. They have to be aware of their surroundings and traffic, and if they commit to a play on user defense, they're committed to it. There's no recovering to get back to cover another route deeper down the field. Sim, you had a play in one of your streams where you were controlling the Mario Davis, who's a pretty athletic backer. And I think it was Greg Olsen running down the seam,
Yeah.
and you were strafing, and you turned your hips late,
Yep.
and you were done. He got on you, you turned late, and the play was over. It was finished. You know, when you get even, you're leaving. You opened up late, and from there on, you couldn't make up the ground that you lost. I've been watching live streams, and I'm sure most of us know who Zan is. Zan is a very good player. He's into the competitive scene and whatnot. He does a lot of tip videos and live streams and all of that. And he was controlling Mark Barron on the Rams and Miles Jack. If you can't use your multiple routes with those two guys or any of the Jags guys, you can't do it. It's that simple. And it's a transition that people are going to have to take some time to make. It takes some time to get used to. And what I hope doesn't happen, because I'm already starting to see some little chirps here and there about
Yo, Kiyah. I think we lost you. Smitty, you still there? Yo, hello. Smitty. Yeah, I think we lost Kiyah somehow. So, Kiyah, if you can hear us, come on back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You can hear me, right?
All right. Yeah.
All right, let's get Kiyah back in
All
there. 1 second, guys. We want to get him back on. I don't know what happened there. But he was on to some good stuff there, man. We don't want to lose him.
Yeah.
Yo.
There he is.
There you go. There you
Back
go.
in business.
All right, where was I? What was the last thing you guys heard?
You've been hearing some chirping.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm already starting to hear a little bit of griping about, oh, I can't run the ball, my player is too slow, I can't cover more than one route, the block sheds are too severe, the pass rush is too good. Already starting to hear a little bit of that. You know, we can't have a Madden 17 situation again. The way that I feel about this game initially right now is close to how I felt when Madden 17 dropped, and I felt like the game was right there. Got to clean up some things, but I felt like, okay, I get it. I see what you're doing. I like what you're doing. This is the right track. And then we know what happened with that. We can't have that again. We can't have any more of this. I'm afraid to adapt. I'm afraid to learn. I'm afraid to get better. You know, there's a difference between addressing things that are, hindering how the game performs and adapting to what you need to do as a user to be successful at the game, if that makes sense.
Right.
For example, things that need to be cleaned up. Coverage. Still has some issues there, especially with the new coverages that they added. They added some match concepts out of cover four. They have cover four quarters, cover four palms. They have a couple of hybrid coverages. They have a cover six invert and a cover four lock, which is a hybrid man zone concept. And there are some issues with that need to be cleaned up. The deep safeties, what they're doing is that they're matching the same receiver as the outside corner, which is causing deep crossers to get in behind them. Things like that, which is, I can get, it's the first time they're implementing those rules, so you have some wonkiness there to work out. Stuff like that needs to be cleaned up. Those are the things that we need to be focusing on. Real legitimate bugs that
Oh, I think we lost him again. Smitty, you still there, right?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, I think we lost Kiyah again.
Oh, he got dropped off again. Saying some good stuff.
Oh man, is he? Oh man, come on back here. Come on back home. You should be able to pop up in here soon. Oh man, not now. Well, all right, guys. I think Kiyah might be experiencing a couple technical difficulties. So what I'll do really, really quick. I know Nighthawk wants to come on as well, so we'll go ahead and get him added. I believe here. Looks like Nighthawk, I sent your request, man. You have to accept it. So in the meantime, we'll bring on Deron Smith. Jump 2 Raw wants to come on as well. So guys, we want all of y'all to come on and give us your thoughts and opinions. For you guys who have the game and play the game, keep it as short as possible because obviously we got to spread the wealth. Spend time, but just try to keep it to a minimum. So Deron, I'm gonna go ahead and get you added on now. Kiyah, if you can still hear us, definitely want to get you back on. If everything is sorted out over there, so we can allow you to finish that point, because you was definitely about to go there, sound like. So here we go, Deron. Sending you your invite right now, sir. And we just need him to pick up. But yeah, man, Kiyah was definitely on to something. We have to keep the game from being nerfed, man. And whatever it is that you enjoy about the game, we have to keep those things in the game and keep those things from being tuned. So I believe we got Deron on now, man. So take it away, man. Whatever it is you got to say in regards to Madden 19.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Yeah, I actually just finished downloading it at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I've been playing and everything. The only thing that I gotta say, which is a video that I'm going to record it and send it to you just to show you. But I was playing, the connected franchise and the actual gameplay of it, not the whole connected franchise situation, but the actual game of it. And it was a throw that I think it was I was playing against the Kansas City Chiefs, or it might have been, but literally the wide receiver stood there. You know how when the quarterback goes running and throws on the run, the wide receiver just stood there and just like basically watched the ball sail. And Joe Hayden was able to run and get their interception. Who was covering him?
Mm.
That's
Yeah,
the bug that
I've
that
seen
I
some of
think.
that. I've seen it
Yeah,
on play action plays on a PA screen. I actually sent feedback on that already. I had that happen to me where the receiver just stood there and spun around. It was almost like he was dancing.
yeah. Oh
Yeah.
no, no. This one he just. You know how when you playing backyard football, how you just stand there and watch the ball. That's basically what he did.
Mm.
Excuse me. Just sorry for the coughing. Just getting over the summertime flu. But and the other thing, I love how even with I had to test it out. Even with turning the sliders all the way to 100, I could not just run the ball. I love that. It showed the flat out where players, as soon as you came close, they reacted almost instantly. That I pray does not change. The only thing that I gotta say that was really, kind of annoying me was how Roethlisberger's short accuracy is pretty nice. I ain't saying that he's on point, he's 100%, but how is he overthrowing Jesse James when Jesse James was like, I say, 6 yards in front of him? That was one of my like, okay, and I didn't hit the which I'm not sure if that's even in the game no more. The whole high throw, low throw. Or, do
Yeah,
y'all
it's
know?
in there. It's the same way it was in 17. It's the the LB or L1 and R2. I mean L1 and what is it? R1, R2, and L1 and LT. I think it is on Xbox. But it's the way it used to be before target passing was there.
Uh, so that probably was my fault then, because I just clicked it. But I gotta say, the way the feel of it, the passing, the running, the getting off your blocks are all excellent. I so far I have like little complaints, but the only thing that I want to see better is just ball physics, because they literally, and if I'm wrong about this, please y'all let me know. The whole I had a fumble. They kicked the ball for like 15 yards, and then I had a player like standing there in front of it. I'm clicking X for him to get it, but he's not diving for it. Now, is that something that's just a bug, or is it a glitch? It's how it's programmed.
I
What
mean,
do
I
you
would
say is
say
happening?
non-responsive control it for players in front of you. You
Yeah,
should
All right.
be able to like. I mean, you should be able to jump on it like that right there. That would be like a bug kind of issue as far as that. But the kicking the ball 15 yards, no, that can happen. I mean,
Okay.
literally, like this is a play. This is something that I pulled up before, and people try to trip about it. Because it was a bug that happened, I think in Madden 18 or something like that. There was literally a play in college where they were in the red zone, and they literally fumbled and kept kicking the ball all the way back until like within the 5 yard line on the opposite side of the field because they kicked the ball the wrong way. Like the team that had the ball on offense, they literally the ball kept on getting kicked and flipped and all that stuff all the way downfield. Now, yes, is that something that typically happens? No, but you got to understand. But the thing to be understood is that we have a game like Madden where who knows how many games are being played during the course of a year. You're going to have some unique stuff that's going to happen like that in comparison to the actual sport where you only have 16 games played in the season. You see what I'm saying? Per NFL team. So it's like the number's not even close in terms of how many, like when you have that many potential, the potential to have that stuff happen is going to go through the roof. So even though it's not a typical football thing, but at the same time the potential is there for that to happen. So that's legit.
I think I'm back now.
Okay.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
back.
we
Kiyah.
got Kiyah back. Just so we could try to move things along smoothly. Duran, you got any other points? I want to get Kiyah back on, and then we got Nighthawk is on too. On here.
No, actually, no, man. I just, like I said, thank y'all for having me on. And so far, so good. I can't be upset with what EA has gave us so far. You know, I just want to make sure, like how y'all before he got off, he was saying, we need the good stuff to stay. And so I hope they actually listen to people who are really want to play. I don't want it to go back to basically feeling like I'm going and playing Madden 15 again.
Exactly.
Cause yeah, because I did it. Like I said, I moved. Thanks to y'all, I moved the sliders up and down and played games on it just to see how it felt.
Well, yeah,
But
man.
eh, go ahead, and I'll look forward to talking to y'all next week.
Absolutely, man. Well, we definitely always appreciate you calling in and being a part of it. Appreciate you chiming in on that. So Kiyah, definitely, man, finish your part, and your point you were making, and then Nighthawk, you can come in right in behind Kiyah.
Yeah, I was just saying basically, um, the fixes need to be just the bugs and the cleanups. Leave the mechanics of the game alone, because I think they work fine from what I'm seeing. The player movement is having its intended effect on how you play defense and how you run the ball. That's great. There are still some things that it's not handling very well. Um, QB play action animations, for example, the play action rollout animations are still that have that wonky Madden-y type of look where the quarterback is pivoting the wrong way and has to turn his body around and throw the ball.
Yeah.
There's stuff, post play where guys are kind of twitching around post play and the ball is dead, stuff like that. But it's important that we learn how to use the mechanics that are in the game the way that they're designed to be used to get the most out of the game that the game has to offer. And then things like AI, like the coverage bugs I spoke of, where the coverage rules need to be tightened up. There's some man coverage animation stuff that needs to be tightened up as well, and stuff like that. Those are things that need to be addressed. Don't touch this pass rush. Do not touch Aaron Donald block shedding and blowing up your plays in the backfield if you run at him. Do not change the tighter space to throw the ball. Don't loosen that stuff up. Keep that as it is. And if guys get their brains beaten, they get their brains beaten. I absolutely love that on the competitive ranked modes, there's no kicking art.
Oh, yes.
That's one of my favorite things that I've seen.
Yes.
Kicking has a skill gap now. You don't have those, little lines showing you, how high your kick is going and how wide it's going. You got to have feel and you got to have timing. Those kind of things need to be in there or you're going to get exposed. Simple as that.
Love it. Love it. I mean, and that's the reason why I'm so adamant about all Madden this year, because I need all Madden to get tuned with a little more balance for the user. Like, I hate having to use sliders, but all Madden has all of that stuff cut off. It doesn't even have the hat, the box count where you can see where your advantage is. None of that stuff. And the game feels pretty good on all Madden, but it's just, like Kiyah said, the pass rush is a monster, and I love it. But it's not necessarily the same for the user. So you got to find that balance where you can get a decent rush. But yeah, man, keep these things that are working. Keep these mechanics. And then obviously, you're going to have to fix the things that we all, find that are problem areas. So that's kind of where I'm at with it as well. Nighthawk, did you want to chime in on that? If you're still here.
Nighthawk.
Yellow.
Yeah, I see him. You hear me? Ain't saying that.
Yeah, I don't hear nothing. Let's see. Let's get Jump in here.
All right.
Let's see. Go ahead, Smitty. Did you have anything you want to add to it?
Yeah,
I just wanted to say.
There
he is. There he is. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, I got you.
We hear you. Hear you now. Go ahead. Go ahead. You were just here. There you go. Oh well.
There he is. I see him. Go ahead,
Smitty.
Did you have anything you want to add to it?
Yeah,
I just wanted to say.
There
he is. There
we got some echo on.
We hear you.
All right. So I just wanted to say, like, as far as Kiyah's point, y'all can hear me now?
We're just here.
Yeah, we can hear you. Hey, mute the computer, because it sounds like we're getting double feedback.
Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. There he is.
All right. So, hello? All right, I got it.
Wait a minute. Somebody's computer is playing that audio. I hear it.
All right. So I just wanted to say, like, as far as Kiyah's point, y'all can hear me now?
What the? Hey, mute the computer, because it sounds like... Yo, it's bugging right now. I can hear the conversation is rolling like 3 times.
All right. So.
All right, now it's quiet. So you should be. I can't hear you, Smitty.
Myself.
Oh, there you go. All right.
All right. Now, yeah, I muted myself, but I heard him.
All right, now, Hawk, we should be able to hear you, but make sure, like, the wherever you're playing the live stream out of, mute that. 3 times.
All right. So. Can you hear me now?
There you go.
There we go. All right. Go ahead, bro.
I can't hear you, Smitty. Oh.
No, I muted myself. It's okay.
No, it's echoing again. It's
echoing it.
I think it's Nighthawk's computer, man. I think wherever he's playing the audio out of, it's doubling up. Like I can hear the stream playing in the background.
Oh.
But it wasn't doing that when it was just you and I.
There we go. All right. Go ahead, bro.
You hear that, Smitty? See, you probably can't hear it, but
the echo.
Oh, you hear it too.
Echo. I hear it. Yeah.
It's echoing. I think it's Nighthawk's computer, man. All right, guys, we're gonna have to. Oh Lord, what happened? All right. So I just called Smitty back, guys, and so we're gonna have to add. Let's go ahead and add Jump. Nighthawk, we're gonna try to get you back in, man, in a minute. But it was giving some crazy feedback there. So Jump, I'm coming to you. Smitty, did you want to add anything, man, while we wait on Jump? Anything that Kiyah was saying? I mean, he said a whole lot. Agree wholeheartedly with what he was saying.
Yeah, like, I mean, this is basically what I'm saying. Is that what needs to basically happen is just like what Kiyah said. tune up the football aspects and tighten them up. Don't water them down for the sake of personal feelings or play style preference.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because think about it like this: when it comes to playing MUT, we're forced to play a certain play style. We don't have an option. We don't get to choose. We're just forced playing it, right? Well, there has to come a point, and this is once again the point we're getting at. There has to be a point where we're going to be emphasizing football, where we're emphasizing the sport the way that it should be, okay? And building upon that in terms of making the gameplay rewarding. And the only way you make it rewarding is by making it truly challenging, not by doing the same thing over and over.
What the?
Oh, Sam, you got something going on over there or something.
Man.
Yeah, that was real loud how it came through. But either way, it can't be this same, let's make the game the exact same because I don't like how the way this feels. I don't like this, so it's got to stay the same way. Nah, it can't be the exact same way all the time. There has to be differences. There has to be different. Like,
Fam,
it's
not going to... Real quick, it's not going to work tonight, Sam. It's not working. We keep getting crazy feedback every time, man. So I don't know what was happening on your end, man. But, yeah, it's killing us. It's killing us, Petey.
It sound like you got a fan right in front of you. Like
you're killing me, Petey.
You silly. but yeah, so that's why I'm saying it's got to be about, it has to be about football, like the intended sport. It's got to be that way. I mean, look at NHL. For those of y'all that played that NHL demo, you know what I'm saying? Look at how the player movement is. Look at how, you know what I mean? Like, that's like saying, oh, let's nerf it because I can't skate the way I want to skate. I can't take away what I used to be able to take away. That's like, cool. That means you have to learn. Just like how people complain about the poke checking, right? All the tripping, like I played games in the shell and all that stuff. You have to learn. It's a technique. It's a technique to how mechanics and things like that work in the game. It's technique to understanding how the game is supposed to flow and things like that. You know what I'm saying? And when it doesn't necessarily flow like that, some folk got a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? It can't always be like that all the time. You know what I'm saying? So the game has to evolve. And that's all I'm just saying. It's just that we need to see the game evolve. We're seeing that evolution literally happen on the field. I don't want to see the cheesy foolery kind of stuff going on just because tournament or casual guys are getting their feelings and say, I can't do things the way I want to. I told y'all back in June at EA Play exactly how it was going to be. I wasn't lying. Now people, oh man, I can't do this. Oh, I can't do that. I wasn't lying to y'all. That was facts. Like I said, the number one thing, especially people at EA Play were whining about, the number one thing people are going to whine about from this game is the way players move. That player movement is going to mess people's days up because they can't play the game the way they used to, and it's not going to feel the same. And because it doesn't feel the exact same way, that's what's going to happen all game long. So if tournament guys, that's what tournament guys got to get used to. If NHL, which they are going to do, they're going to have tournaments and stuff like that for money. What do you think they're about to do? They're about to take the RPM. They're about to take the skating and all that stuff and just dumb it all the way down because people, because the game moves realistic? No. They got to tighten up their skills. So that's it. When there's
Absolutely,
game
man.
problems, fix the game problems. And I know Sick with it. He says the same thing all the time. People like you gotta understand. Like that's like saying if consumers complain about a steering wheel being, they rather have a steering wheel not on the left hand side. They want it in the middle. They don't want it on the right. They want the steering wheel in the middle. Well, if you get a bunch of people that complain about it being in the middle, guess what? You rather them just say, "Oh, well, I guess us the developers messed up. Let's put the steering wheel in the middle." Or is it going to be, no, this is a design choice that we made. This is, you're going to have to drive on the left hand on the left side. You're just going to have to learn, you're going to have to evolve, you're going to have to adapt. That's it. If you don't want to adapt, then keep doing that. Oh, why is it falling on me? Like, well, it does fall on you because you're the one whining about it. So if you're whining about it, then either get better or play something else. It's that simple. Like, that's NHL people. What new NHL game is coming out? Guess what? 2K and other companies can make a hockey game, and they're not making it. So guess what? That real player movement tech that's in that game and the way players move and skate and all the mechanics that are in there, guess what people are going to have to do? They're going to have to tighten up. They're going to have to get better. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just it. So there ain't no excuse with these other games. I don't understand how it's an excuse over here. I'm sorry. Madden has to get better, and it can't keep going backwards because tournament guys or casuals feel a certain way. Plain and simple. Too.
Yeah, man.
So, but go ahead, Sim.
Football is all I ask for and all I desire for.
We talk about, hold on, I'll say this last thing. We talk about football. You got this game going on tonight. People are going to see all this football stuff happen, talk about it all up and down the wall. But when the game comes out, all of a sudden they want the game to be spayed and neutered. They want it to be arcadish. For what? Because you having difficulty? No, adjust. Adapt to the situation, adjust how you approach. That's it. And then the game keeps moving forward. That's all it's gotta freaking be. It ain't gotta be all this extra bullcrap that people keep on making it out to be. Oh, well, it ain't gotta be that. Da, da, da. I don't wanna hear that garbage.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Either adjust, get good. Don't add nobody because I don't know how to control my player. Practice. Oh, but I want to get in for this tournament. Too well. Well, that's tough for you then. You better get good quick, or else you missed out. That's on you. Get better. Like, seriously. I want to hear that garbage. That's why Sick with is an advocate for people that do that just whine and say it ain't working the way I want. It ain't on the consumer. It's always on somebody else. No, at some point there is some consumer accountability. You have to be there. Like, there is some stuff on the consumer to know. If you're gonna sit up here and complain and say I want authenticity, I want it to be this, I want it to be that. Okay, cool. When you get it, don't get upset. Don't get upset that it happens and say, "Oh, well, that's on the devs. Why are you blaming the consumer?" Because the consumers are the one that get the stuff dumbed down. That's why. Why do you think NBA 2K18 basically the skill gap got completely erased? Why do you think that happened? Because consumers. They just ain't patch it just because. They did that because people complained.
Exactly.
People had problems with the game. So yeah, they spayed and neutered it. And then you got top guys that play 2K all day long every day are like, man, they're reintroducing the skill gap in 2K19. That's crazy. 2K19, they're introducing skill gap? Huh? Why? It should have been there. But because consumers got problems, that's why stuff gets took out, watered down, nerfed, etc., etc. It's that simple. So
check 1 2 1 2. Is my working?
Yeah. We got you now, man.
Yeah.
All right. Finally, I'm working. Thank goodness. My bad, guys. I had technical difficulties. But let me go ahead and jump on NY Kiyah's point real quick. So I agree with NY Kiyah. I don't think they need to nerf pretty much anything as far as the mechanics go. I think they need to leave it alone. And I can honestly tell you guys, I'm nervous about this day one patch. I know Sim talked about it yesterday on his live stream yesterday, but I am scared to death of this patch. because I don't know what they're about to nerf, what they're about to do, and I'm a little bit nervous, to be honest with y'all. So that's my thoughts on the day one patch, as far as Sim was talking about yesterday on his live stream yesterday. And as far as Madden 19 goes, guys, I'm gonna tell you, I've been playing the game. I actually like it a lot. I like the running mechanics. You have to pick your spots and pick your holes, and you have to make your mind up very quickly. That's like a real running back in the real NFL. I really like that. As far as the passing game goes, it's hit or miss. I mean, you do have to make your reads pretty quick like a real NFL quarterback. Otherwise, you're going to be lying flat on your back. I like that a lot as well. And I don't know if a lot of you guys heard Clint when he was on Got Fox show not too long ago when he said he turned up the block shed. At first, I was a little nervous. You know, I was kind of scared. I'm like, oh, my God, he turned up the block shed. Does that mean I'm going to get shedded every, like, 1.2 seconds or what? Like... But as I played the game, I was like, okay, the block shed is turned up, but it ain't like Madden 18 block shed where it's just all random. It's kind of, you kind of see it coming more like in 19 than you did in 18. 18, it was just kind of just at random all of a sudden. They just block shed and they just get to you. But in 19, it's more fluent. It's more, you know, just a realistic block shed. Now, I did watch Sim's live stream yesterday after he got done live stream. I watched his replay and, Sim, I gotta say, man, some of the reads you was making was pretty bad, bro. You gotta go through your progressions a little bit more, bro.
Absolutely.
I remember that Panthers game, bro, and you just you missed a guy wide across the seam, dude, on the post, and I'm like, where's Sim throwing this ball at? What is he looking at?
Yeah, I take ownership of that. That's why I always say in the stream, like, look, man, I do some stupid stuff sometimes, especially when I just learned the game. I don't see everything. Yeah, so some of it is not, it ain't always the game. A lot of times it could very well be you.
Yeah, so I'm really liking what EA has done with the game overall. Now, I didn't go in franchise mode. I do have EA access. I haven't gone into franchise mode yet. I've been grinding solos. I kind of followed Smitty's blueprint. I saw him yesterday streaming a little bit. I kind of peeked in his stream, saw him playing the solo. So I was like, oh, yeah, I got to kind of catch up to Smitty with his little ultimate team, so I gotta catch up. Let me go ahead and get my team right. So, but I streamed a little bit yesterday, some regular teams head to head. I really like it. I played about 3 games yesterday. Texans, I lost that game. Second game, I played with the Falcons. They seem all right, and then I played with my Cardinals. I was like, okay, I feel real confident going in my online CFM this year because, you know, Sam Bradford's all right. He got a little mobility. You know, they gave Sam a little bit mobility, so that's kind of nice. But, hey, man, the one thing I like about this game the most is the running and the DB wide receiver interaction. I love that the penalties are on in this game. Pass interference is called now, so it ain't like a guy when you playing head-to-head, somebody could just push you out of the way like they did in the previous match, because now they will throw that flag and it'll be pass interference. So I really like that. I do want to comment on that hit stick sim that you got last night, though, bro, when you was playing the Panthers and you gave Mark Ingram the ball, and I think Thomas Davis laid you out,
Oh,
bro.
my God. Yeah, it was sick.
Yeah, man, you was answering somebody's question or making a comment, and then all of a sudden you got popped. And I couldn't tell you, bro. I was laughing my buns off when I saw that, bro. I had to rewatch that like 4 times, bro, because I was cracking up.
Yeah, he got laid out for sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. But overall, presentation-wise, I disagree with you, Sim, when you say it hasn't changed. I think it has changed a lot over the past few Maddens. You know, with the halftime showing things, I think they have done a pretty good job of putting that in, especially with the pregame. I like the Thursday night football setup that they got when you first do a Thursday night game. I like that setup, how it introduces the teams and stuff. I really like that. But I think they could go a little step further in 20.
Yes.
But that's down the road, though. Now, personally, for me, guys, I turn off the announcers. I really don't listen to them. I just like to listen to the hits in the crowd. But franchise mode is it's in a good base right now. I think they need to go a little deeper, and that's for us to go ahead and give the devs the feedback and stuff, show them videos, say, hey, maybe you could add this in here next year, or maybe in Madden 21, and just go from there. but that day one patch scares me, guys. It really does, and I'm not gonna lie to y'all. That really scares me.
Well, I will say this, and Jump, I see you in here too, man. So I want you to jump in. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure if the patch is already there or not, because I'm hearing different things from different people. You know, I've been told that, oh, there's going to be a day one patch, which is usually, you know, when the game launches. And then I've been told that the day one patch was already there when we downloaded the game. I don't know. So I'm curious in two different ways, because Smitty will agree with this. It's stuff that I see in the game right now that we noticed in the beta. And I feel like, man, I was depending on a launch day patch to fix that. However, we also know how it works. It's very possible, just looking at the timeline, the beta feedback is probably for the first official patch after launch. And not because, you know, we kind of know from the back end, we know when they're actually done, when they got to be finished, this, that, and that. So now that I think about it, a lot of the feedback that was given for the beta probably would be in like that 30-day or 3-week or whatever title update. We'll see, but I'm not sure if it's actually there or not. Well, I guess we'll find out. I know when we booted up the game, there wasn't anything that told me to, you know, download a tuner or whatever, so I'm assuming it's not. But we'll see. Jump Raw, you still there, Jump? Jump to Raw.
Yo, Jump.
Or Jump Retro. I don't know.
Jump.
There
you go. There you go.
What you got, man? You want to chime in?
Yeah, man, definitely. Am I echoing?
No, you good.
You good.
All right, cool. So look, I was in Smitty's stream earlier today. You know, shout out to my man Smitty. You know, doing his thing out there.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, bro.
He took the hard L, but you know, it's all good. It was some BS that happened at the end. But look, I got Madden on Xbox One X, and I have it on the PC. And I'm gonna tell you, to me, in my opinion, the real player motion really shines on PC. To me, it looks better, it plays better, and it's buttery smooth. The frame rate, I mean, I know everybody can't experience the Madden on PC thing, and a lot of people really don't know because they're not educated on it. But trust me, if it's anything that I could tell anybody, man, try and get your hands on a PC version of it, man. Check the game out. Number one, I love the pass rush. The pass rush is dope. To me, it's cool. I seen a lot of like warping and shifting when DB and wideout interactions take place. It's a lot of that goes on. I don't really see. I mean, I'm not that X's and O guy, so I really don't know coverage breakdowns and where players should be playing their zone. But I can't really tell you anything on that. You know, when I hear Kiyah, that's where I get educated from. When I listen to Kiyah, I be like, damn, this dude know football in and out. Like I'm a basketball guy, man. I continue to say that. But I mean, I love the way that the game feels, man. Like I said, the real player motion. The only thing that I have a problem with, and it's small, it's not, you know, game breaking or nothing like that. I would like to see real player motion take effect when like you have climates, you know what I mean, like snow, rain. I want to see it affect the field. I want to see, you know, my players slipping and the ball. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like it's there in the rain games, but I want to see what it looked like. You know, kicking up. You know, actually seeing my players' feet hit the ground and kicking up turf and all like that. Like I want to see that. You know, and that's what I was expecting. You know, it was a little high expectations for the PC version, but I guess you can't have everything.
Nope. It ain't, man. It ain't too high. I mean, Smitty knows how I feel with this. I'm getting to the point where if I could take like 2 seconds here to vent.
Go ahead, man. Yeah.
It's like, because somebody was in my stream the other day. I think it was Hard 8. And he said, dang, Sim, you sound like you fed up. And I'm like, nah, it ain't that I'm fed up, but it's no one understanding exactly what decisions are made in the building and what happens between devs and bosses, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, it's hard for me to continue to accept the baby steps. I mean, because the ideas that come across the table that are shared with us, I'm like, what? And I'm talking about not just an idea. I'm talking about a dev literally telling you, yo, I had this ready to go this year, but got cut. I'm like, come on, man. Like, that kind of stuff, it tends to bother me a little bit because you kind of feel like we're giving the feedback, which I'm going to continue to do. It's not like I'm saying I'm not going to do that. But it's almost to the point now where I'm like, all right, what are they going to actually allow them to do next year? And I hate feeling like that, man, because I know Madden is behind and all of that, but I think we all just try to forget that when you see these articles come out from like what 2K is doing with MyLeague. You know, it's like, come on, man. It's like as soon as I try to hold it down, here come 2K or here come NHL or something, and then I'm back to like, see, man, now I'm pissed off again. So it's man.
I'm losing my mind over here reading this blog. I've been steadily reading this 2K blog with this MyLeague stuff, and this is retarded.
But don't get me wrong,
able to do in here.
Madden 19, I really think from the early experiences, it's huge potential in where the game is starting to shift and go to. I think RPM tech, and I don't know, Jump, if you heard this earlier when I said it, I like what they're doing with it. I see where it can shine. I see there's a couple spots still that it needs help. Like what you said with the animations. There's less warping when you get the two-man in the DB and wideout interaction, but there's still times when you can see where the animation started and ended. I was hoping that RPM was going to help with that, which I think it is, but not to the degree where I was hoping. I was hoping that it was going to be completely respecting where you are. If you're not in position, and you know, like Kiyah said, or might have been, Kiyah said it in my stream last night, there are times where if you ain't there, you ain't going to make the play. But I want to see that across the board. You know, it's kind of like you're seeing most of it apply with the ball carrier, even though it is on all 22. It's still just a couple times where I'm like, It's almost like they're gliding on the field. Like the movement is there, but it's not like they're connected to the ground. And that's what they got to work on. They got to get that part.
I agree with that.
Yeah, they got to.
I definitely agree with that.
If they can master that, man, I think RPM will take off because it's, like I said, it's not all the time. And I think for you guys who've played the game, you know exactly what I'm saying, man. If you dive and replay like how me and Smitty do, you know, crazy nuts that we are, we start looking at all of that. And I'm like, oh, man, I see the DB. Like, DBs are actually using technique at times. The way they're turning their hips and stuff like that. But when you look at the feet, sometimes it gets a little awkward because it's like the ground is just like a surface. It's not really a living surface. So that's the only little beef I got.
But you know what though? I honestly, from me playing the game, I'm actually anticipating, you know, the SSR League this year. I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
And just seeing, I mean, it's no shots at nobody in the league, man. But it's a lot of dudes that run the same plays, man. Yeah. And it's like, come on, dog. Like, I think some of that is going to be eliminated this year. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. You know, just what I want to see is basically just fix the game to the point where if the AI sees, if my defense is seeing the same play, help them recognize. I mean, I'm not saying give me a you know, a handicap, but I'm just saying if the same play is being ran over and over, can my defense react? You understand what I'm saying? Like, oh, hold up, we've seen this already. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe, you know, whatever. But you know, I'm not saying that that it has to be that way. But for the most part, don't change the game from what it is. Just fix up what needs to be fixed, man. And I don't really have no gripes for it this year. I love the depth in the franchise mode. So from what I'm seeing, you know, it's dope, man. It's dope.
Oh,
I got. Oh, I'm
you got
sorry.
something, Smitty?
Yeah,
Or who?
I got something to say. It's
Yeah,
just
go
a
ahead.
little bit. It's a little bit off topic, but this is the kind of stuff that we got to see happen with Madden. Look, I'm just going to read this verbatim. Players are at their peak capacity, learning capacity in their first 4 to 5 years in the league. It's during this time in our game where they'll experience the largest area of growth. Players learn best, but not exclusively, from elder players at their own position. If you assign JJ Redick to be Joel Embiid's mentor, it'll naturally limit the amount of skills that Embiid's able to learn because they're different archetypes. On the other hand, you take a guy like Lonzo Ball and assign Rajon Rondo to be his mentor, I can selectively ask Rondo to teach Ball how to learn the ankle breaker badge or the Lob City passer badge or the pickpocket badge, etc. Oh, guys. Like,
bruh, come on,
see, when you can do stuff like this, and then we'll really, you know, y'all ain't see me, but unfortunately you can only hear our audio, but the you know, Jump and Sent, you guys saw my jaw drop. Because they put all the historical draft classes in here. The full draft classes from 1960 all the way till 2017.
What?
So you can,
Bruh.
so you can take those draft classes and put them in your MyLeague. If you want to if I want to take the 1996 draft class now and put them in the game and start, man, dog.
That's clutch.
That's
That's
freaking. That's
Wow.
retarded.
No,
See,
Smitty, but we got a custom draft creator in Madden, Smitty.
Oh yeah, this, and also understand this is on top of being able to create custom draft classes as well. So look, I understand Madden's playing from behind. We get that, but when we see things like this, that's exactly what Sim was talking about. That's why I just had to read that little snippet, and there's a ton of depth. You got sliders to control player progression and regression and all the abilities in between. That's retarded. Okay? And like, this is why I'm saying, look, NHL alone, we talked about that before. Drafting a player you never scouted. You got him on the field, you don't know how good he is because you ain't scout him. You're not going to know what he could do until you run games. Then you eventually get his attributes. That stuff right there is what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? And we don't have those kind of things in the game, and we need those kind of things. And I know it's like, oh, man, this is why 2K needs to make football game. Listen, I would love for Sony to make a game. Honestly, if I had to, if I could only have one other person, I'd rather it be Sony than 2K. But outside of that, look, I would love for there to be some competition. I would love for these guys to be able to do whatever it is the heck they want to do to get the franchise exactly where they need to get it to as far as franchise modes. You see what I'm saying? Because, like what Sim said, it's not that we don't have a problem with the capability of the devs. It's not the capability of the dev teams. It's the calls up above their heads that's the problem, which is what Rex has said many times over. You see what I'm saying? This, I mean, I know, look, I would love to have what NCAA 14 had and give us a NFL version or something like that. This, I mean, reading this is a swift kick in the rear to all that. I mean, just a swift one. Real swift.
You know what's
Steel
crazy?
toe and everything.
Too,
Swift.
Smitty? The craziest thing. Oh, shout outs to Jeffrey, man, coming through with the donation. We appreciate that, brother.
Oh.
I ain't even got the round of applause working tonight, but definitely we give it up to you on that. The craziest thing is this shuts down the whole notion that everybody always try to throw at us. Oh, they don't want to, they can't do it. They're not capable. Oh, they're not, they're not smart. They're lazy. The proof is in EA's pudding. NHL has it. They have all of this stuff in the other games. NCAA. Think about all of the stuff that we loved in NCAA that's not currently in Madden.
Facts.
So don't y'all miss me, man, when y'all keep saying, "Oh, they can't." Yes, they can. It is the answer is the people who cut the check. It's that simple. It's just that simple.
That's corporate America for you.
And also understand it's not just that, it's also what is the NFL going to allow? You see what I'm saying? Obviously, there are all kinds of things that are very screwy with the NFL right now. Very much so. In terms of how things are ran, in terms of morals and things like that. But when it comes to the NBA, it's a lot looser. Getting tattoos in the game, like there's many things that they could do. Yeah, you can, I know that some people don't mess around with MyLeague like that in 2K, but you have CBA negotiations for rules like age restrictions on the draft and everything, stuff like that. Keep kids being able to come out early and everything. Like, there's many different facets that you can adjust in game that they allow, like that you can renegotiate. They put all that in their game. If the NBA doesn't give a green light to a lot of this stuff, that you wouldn't see all this. There's a lot you wouldn't see in the game. So it's not just, oh man, 2K knows how to make a great game. It's, thank goodness the NBA allows us to do all of this stuff as well. That's a huge part of it. Because there's probably things that EA wants to do that devs want to do, but at the same time, is the NFL going to allow it to happen?
Yep.
That's another part too, because like we talked about before, the helmet. I mean, something as simplistic as helmets getting popped off. It happens it doesn't happen every single time, but it happens a lot in football. They don't allow that in the game. They wanted dynamic attendance. They wanted in the game. You had owners complain about their stadiums being empty and stuff like that, or half full in the game. So therefore, you can't do that. Like, there's things they'd love to do, innovative things that we would appreciate, but they're not allowing to happen. And that's the NFL. So that part of it sucks. So that's just the stuff we know on the surface. Who knows what else behind closed doors that they possibly could have brought to the table and said, hey, we want to do these things in game, but then guess what? At the truck, and when the truck mechanic was basically dudes standing up because of how the NFL said, hey, these are the rules, you have to adjust it accordingly. And guess what the devs have to do? They have to bend. You know what I'm saying? They got to fold, they got to conform to what the NFL says. They can't just say, man, skip that, we're going to do what we want. It doesn't work that way. So, but go ahead, Sam.
It's very unfortunate, man. Right on time, man. We got Neff1 in here, man. Neff has a few words. What's up, Neff? Yo, you there?
Neff.
Yellow.
Yeah.
Yellow, hello. Mellow yellow. You there, Neff?
I guess not Neff. Yet.
Not yet.
He's there, but not yet.
Let me look in the chat, guys. I know there was a couple more of you guys that wanted to come on the show. Forgive me for, missing. Let me see. Who else? I'm looking. Did you have anything else, Jump? Yo, you still there, Jump?
Oh, Neff, I see you blinking.
Yeah, I'm still here. Still
bro.
Here.
No, so you have anything else you wanted to add on?
Oh, no, man. That's it, man. I appreciate y'all having me on. I was just sticking around. It wasn't nothing about nothing. I'm up out of here, though.
All right, brother.
All right, bro.
We holler at you, man. All right, so let's get, let's see. Let's try Kiyah back in here. Because I think we lost Kiyah again the first time. So let's see if we can get him back on. Okay. But yeah, guys, while I'm doing that, it's just the sad truth, man, with Madden. And it's very unfortunate. It is what it is. But here's the funny thing, though. This is what I find very amusing. So, of course, we want options, right? Everybody wants options. And I'm cool with options. But please leave it as options. And let me explain to you guys what I'm saying. So, in case you guys didn't know, the Canadian football game came out. on the 31st. The Canuck company, it's Maximum Football, 2018 Maximum Football. Now, I appreciate those who bought the game and playing the game, for one, to support, and for two, just to see what the game has to offer and say, oh, they do this really well, or maybe you guys should have that, or, again, same thing we did with Backbreaker. But listen, everybody's opinion is cool and all of that, but I just got to say one thing. Some of y'all, and y'all know who y'all are, been hitting me up all day.
Now, I appreciate those who bought the game.
We echoing again, guys. But
you echoing. Okay.
You guys got to chill with the whole Madden gameplay is trash, so I'm gonna just play this game. I get it, but fam, if you think Madden's gameplay is trash, how is it possible that you are saying that the alternative is with that game? I don't get that. That's all I'm saying. Like, play what you want to play, but don't sit and try to argue with me and then you wondering why I didn't respond to some of y'all. Y'all know who y'all are. I'm not listening to that whatsoever.
I will just play.
You gotta mute. You gotta mute your computer.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
You guys have been killing us tonight, man. But yeah, bruh, please miss me with that. Trying to tell me that, since Madden's gameplay is so trash, I'm going to play this game. That makes no sense to me. I want to hear people say, yo, I'm playing this, man, to see what they got to offer. Or just, just have something else to play. And, shout outs to guys like KC Classic, I believe. He did a stream. And, I didn't watch the whole stream. I just happened to see some of it on the rebound. But that's what I'm saying. I like to see that. Play the game, support the game, but I'm talking to those who specifically try to use that as a legitimate argument to me. Man, Madden's trash, so I'm just going to play this. Alright. Whatever. But, we got to stop acting like that in this gaming community, man.
I got to tack on that real quick. I'm just going to say this. If you're going to play that game, any of those games or whatever, and no, it's not even about playing the games. If you coming through and you got that energy, y'all had. I was talking to some people earlier today. It's interesting how they like to curb the discussion and try to make it about Madden when it's like, dude, people have all this energy before Axis came out. Obviously, you knew that they don't have as much money as EA. It's not going to be the same visual spectacle. It's not going to look as good visually. It's not going to move as fluid. Y'all knew all of that well before, but y'all had all this energy in the direction of, F Madden, I'm not playing it. I'm not getting it. I'm getting access. I can't wait. Well, then go get it. Go get it. This is the time. It's out. What the Canadian joint, it's out there. What are you waiting for? Go get it. Y'all had all that energy for that, and then when the game comes out, oh man, they ain't got as much money as EA. Their game ain't on the same level as Madden. Come on, dog. Like, no, don't come with that.
Yeah,
come with that energy you had about how you was all about that game. Now walk the talk, and that's all I'm saying. If you're gonna do all that, walk the talk. Don't get to the gate. Don't get to the edge, and you got your parachute. You got your inflatable, whatever. You got all the stuff. Because you caping, you ready for that game. And then as soon as you get to that gate, come on, man. It ain't on the same level as Madden and EA. How you going to say that? I didn't say it. Y'all said it. It cracks me up. They keep trying to pin that stuff on us. I'm like, I didn't say it. You did. Tell your people that made those dumb statements. Like, tell them. They're the ones that said that silly stuff. Now they want to. They are moonwalking as far as they backtracking so hard. Like, no, don't backtrack from it. Step 2. And I'm like, that's my whole thing. If I'm going to support something, like, I'm going to buy Access Football. Are you going to see me streaming it end over end like that? No. I'll show some videos of it. You may see me do a stream, maybe 2, but That's it. I'm playing Madden all year. You know what I'm saying? I'm rocking on that. When it comes to football, I'm playing Madden. I'll give those guys some feedback points, but that's going to be about it. Like from how I feel. But there are people like Dollar Jr. and I'll give him the respect and the shout out for it because he is deeply engaged. He's been the main guy that I've known at least that has been so deeply rooted following those guys and giving feedback to those guys from start to finish. So I got nothing but respect for him in that regard. That's what I'm saying. All these people that are running around, ripping and saying all kinds of stuff about Madden. Well, okay, cool. You were waiting for this game to drop. You were waiting for these games to come. They're here. So just support them and enjoy. Knock yourself out. Don't sit up here talking about Madden all year. You have options. Because guess what? At one point in time, Madden was not the game that it was now. They had to start somewhere. All these games all have to start somewhere and then grow up and get to a better place. So even these indie games, there's indie games that outperform AAA titles in some instances. So it's not saying that it's just not possible. No, it is possible. You know what I'm saying? It's just a road that's going to take them time to get the game to that level. That's just the reality. So, but if you got the energy, walk that talk. That's all I'm saying.
That's all I'm saying. Like, shout outs to Jay Rowling that was here in the chat. He said he was the second person to buy Maximum Football on PS4. I respect all of that. And that is not aimed at people like yourself. I just don't understand the folks who, like, again, legitimately trying to argue me down. F Madden, I ain't playing it, da-da-da-da. The gameplay is trash. I'm gonna rock with this joint. And I'm like, so really is it really the gameplay is the issue or what is it? Because there's no way I would be playing that in place of Madden. Madden is not the greatest game on earth. We all know that. But in no way am I gonna act like I could get the fix in a game such as Maximum Football. Now, Axis Football, like I said on the show months ago, I'm going to support them whether I play the game or not. I've been a little more, closely following their movement, so I applaud the effort. The Maximum Football thing, not so much. I've always said I'm not really into the Canadian. I don't know much about it, and it's just not it for me. I wish them the best, but it's not for me. So if I do anything, I'm definitely going to support Axis. But I don't know, man. But I don't even know why I'm wasting time here talking about it.
My bad, y'all. My power had went out for a sec. We're having a bad storm out here, so my power had went out. So that's why I had left for a second. My bad.
Yeah. No problem, man. Let me see, man. Did we have anybody else here in the chat? Anything else to talk about, man? I'm trying to think.
I did want to talk about NBA Live real quick, if that's okay with y'all.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, man.
All right, so I know I'm probably gonna get killed in the chat, but guys, I am not happy with Live what they've done this year. So I'm gonna sit Live and 2K out. I'm gonna sit basketball out this year. I'm gonna give it till next year, 20, to really for the game to be the way I want it to be, because I know they didn't have time on Live to get the women's side, where you get your woman when you create a female character in the one to get drafted to the WNBA. I know the creative director said they ran out of time, so that's one of the reasons why I'm kind of staying away from Live this year. I'm gonna just sit it out, see how y'all feel, watch y'all videos on it, and then when Live 20 come out, when they can get that fully flushed out with the one, then I'll come back to NBA Live. But this year I'm gonna just sit it out.
Wait a minute. So I know you could create female ballers, but they can't go nowhere.
They can't go to the WNBA now. The creative director did an interview with SGO, and that was one of SGO's questions, and he said they just ran out of time. They weren't able to get that fully flushed out.
Come on, man. See? Bruh. So essentially all you doing is just creating a character. Pretty much. There's no goal to shoot for.
Yeah, if you want to tour around the streets, yeah, but as far as the NBA, it's basically the same as NBA Live 18, basically, especially on the men's side. So.
Oh man. I don't like that. I get it, man. I mean, everything comes down to time, but it's weird, guys, man. I mean, it's one thing this whole game changer thing has taught me over the last 6 years is I see things more like a developer. And because of that, I don't like halfway done features. I mean, something like, let's say RPM. That is a huge element to the EA Sports brand that I think will take every game to the next level in terms of movement, because it's going to be more to come with that. It's not just how they move, but personality and all that stuff will start coming. So I can see you doing that, even if, let's say, it's not fully fleshed out yet. But to me, I wouldn't have introduced the creating a female baller unless it's the full experience. I mean, I understand it, but that's just me. I wouldn't have done it. They could have held that. The WNBA is already in there. They could have definitely held out on being able to create a female baller and not being able to play in the female league. That sucks.
What?
He was saying, Nighthawk was saying, he heard the interview on SGO. I hadn't had a chance to see it yet, but you won't be able to take your female baller to the WNBA.
Oh yeah, no. They didn't have enough development time in order to do that, so they couldn't do it. Oh, you booing about that?
Yeah.
What you know about on the street mode? Your female baller, both males and females will be sharing the exact same dunk and dribble packages.
Boo!
So,
are you serious?
You're gonna have female, yeah. So females are gonna be able to dunk just like Vince Carter, all that. Vince Carter, D Wade, everything. They all gonna be able to do the exact same thing on the court.
I don't know if I like that, Smitty. I really don't know if I like that, man.
Come on.
They said, see, this is the problem that I have with it. Now I'm gonna say this here. I shout out to my man Lee. He's one of the devs on the game. Shout out to my man Donnie Greenfield as well. We had a discussion.
Cornell.
This was on Twitter. This was on Twitter publicly. So this was not no DM stuff. It was in the middle of a conversation where I found that out. It wasn't marketed like that. That's the problem I got. Because EA Play, y'all should have promoted that and said, hey, on the street, it's going to be like blah, 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 whoop-de-whoop. Y'all didn't say that. So when you wait until you drop a trailer and then I'm finding out, if I never tweeted or got into the conversation that was already ongoing, I never would have knew. I never would have found that out. So to see that, that's why I'm like, I'm cautiously optimistic, but I don't know how people gonna be feeling seeing that Live 18, y'all have more of a realistic street appeal going on in the game, and then all of a sudden you got these females that are gonna be out here banging like Vince. I don't know about that. Man, I really don't know about that.
That's Charles Barkley terrible. Bruh. See, this is the thing. And I love when these segments come up, just for, because, let's be honest, I really don't care what somebody's opinion is about me or what they feel about a game or whatever, but for the sake of argument, I love it when people say, "Oh, you never say anything bad about EA," because this is where I go at EA. That's probably the stupidest thing I ever heard of, and let me tell y'all why. Not even for the obvious reason. I'm gonna take y'all back for a second, and Smitty's gonna remember this. You know what it reminds me of, Smitty? Remember when we went down extremely early to EA, way early, to test out NBA Live 18. Remember they showed us initially, there's going to be female ballers in the game. Remember that? And remember at that time, because they hadn't, they were super early in development, all of the females in the game were a clone of Draymond Green. Now then, I didn't It didn't bother me because I understand how video games work and, starting to learn a little more about coding. And even though I can't do it, I'm not fronting. I'm just talking about, I'm starting to learn a little more about coding and stuff like that from talking to devs, engineers, animators, etc., etc. So I didn't trip. I thought it was cute. Ha ha. Oh, they all playing like Draymond Green. That was funny.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you fast forward to NBA Live 19 coming out, and lo and behold, now you're going to have NBA players and WNBA players sharing the same pretty much archetypes and skills. It's almost like, it makes me look at it like, bruh, I can't confirm any of this, but I'm like, was that lazy? And I'm not gonna call out the devs because the NBA Live devs, y'all don't even understand. These dudes go hard, man. And they're actually innovating more than, what we're actually seeing from Madden currently. But it makes me feel like, bruh, like, who made that call? Somebody above them. Listen, guys, this is what we're saying. Somebody above them has to approve on these things. They have to approve the budget. They have to approve the resources. And I'm not trying to sit here and say that they don't care. That's not what I'm saying. It's just like what Rex said back in the day. Some of them don't know. Like, some of the people who are in these high positions don't really think about the significance of this. Why this should be there. Why this isn't realistic. Why this is vital to football. Why this is vital to basketball. All they really do, y'all have heard these investor calls. These guys are just trying to figure out the numbers. Oh, it's going to take too long to do that. No, we can't do that right now. And it literally could be something like the NBA Live devs could have went to them. And I'm not trying to paint the picture like it's deliberate. It's just cutthroat business. They could have went to them and said, yo, we're going to have to do this. We got to do that. And it could have been as simple as, we can't really allocate time to that right now. We got to do this. And they got to go with what they got. But still, even with that, I got to give them criticism. That right there, man, as soon as Smitty and I and a lot of others start saying, yo, man, NBA Live might have a chance, man, if they focus on realism, then you're going to do that?
That's all I'm saying.
Come on, man.
See, and I mean, looking at some of the comments in here, like saying, man, skip me with that realistic stuff. Well, why you think people play 2K? Because of realism that's in their game. Why you think 2K18 sold 10 million copies in spite of all that frustration of the VC? They still sold 10 million copies. Come on, man. Realism is there. Man. Look, when you're getting retweeted by and liked, and your videos are getting mentioned by LeBron James with the whole Bronny Jr., D Wade, and all that stuff, it's because the game has the animations to replicate that stuff.
Yes, it does.
And you can get real creative with that. You can't do that in live right now. And then you go ahead and jump the gun and say, "Oh, we did that with the male ballers." Well, we gave the females the male dunk packages. And trust and believe, when I brought it up on Twitter and I literally asked verbatim and said, "What women are dunking like D Wade?" I got the damage control answers. Well, if 80% of the people, and once again, these are public tweets. This is not.
I saw that, Smitty. I briefly saw you saying something about but I didn't read the thing. I just, I was browsing and I happened to see you, but I didn't know that was the conversation you was having.
Yeah, it was about that. That's the whole thing. I bring up and say, look, when we give feedback, when me and Sim, when we give feedback, I don't care if we're making points, if we're debating each other, whatever. We bring up the points so that way we could validate. Look at this video. You see what's happening here? This is what I'm talking about when it comes to subject X. But then when we say when it comes to the females, and I'm saying, show me the footage of women doing more than rim grazer dunks. Show me women that are dunking like D Wade. And it's like, man, you know what? It's a video game. Man, y'all saying that you don't want women to be in the game. You saying that women can't share the court with men. It ain't got nothing to do with that. And I'm talking about the scope. I'm not talking about what people said to me. I'm talking about the scope of what I've seen. Just because we're saying, show us the footage of women dunking like Vince. And it's like, it's this big problem. And that's all I'm saying. And also understand this too. We still don't know all the stuff that's done with the creative player functionality that's part of the blog they put out in 2K. Also, we don't even know the gameplay details yet outside of the footage that we saw a few weeks ago. Plus, if you remember, for those that may have saw it, Ronnie 2K was shown in the mocap studio with female ballers months ago. So there's not. Listen, EA can have they may have something with the WNBA. It's possible in that regard, but there's no restriction on putting a female in your basketball game. And if 2K can go ahead and do that, I'm just saying, they could possibly present a problem with the women basketball. If they have the basketball authenticity right, what do you think people gonna do?
2K.
2K gonna be, they're gonna be on that 2K. I mean, listen, Live's gonna get there. I'm not saying EA not gonna get it, but that making a move to say women are gonna be able to share the exact same dunk packages and vice versa. It's like, if you're going for an NBA Street vibe, and I understand that because I was asked directly, once again, this is public airspace. I was asked, hey, Smitty, when it comes to the street, what is it to you? I said it's sim. He said no, it's arcade. You want to play sim, play the league. So, So when you say that, now I understand from the development side of things. I get all that. But on the consumer front, when you say that, you guess what? I just read this rotund blog. You better have something good in your game in regards to league if you're gonna say that, just outright verbatim, because that's how I'm gonna translate it as. So, and plus, if you're going for an arcade vibe, you've had people all year, and myself included, that have been given all kinds of feedback in regards of authenticity and realism in regards of the street aspect of the game. So, if you're going for this straight arcade vibe, why don't you make NBA Street again? Why just do something unrealistic like that? Just make NBA Street. You did that before. That's why y'all had NBA Live and NBA Street, because there was an integrity preservation. NBA Live, and then you got NBA Street, where it doesn't matter if women are dunking and all that stuff. Who cares? It's arcade over the top action. It's perfectly fine. But hey, I mean, like I said, I'll stay optimistic. I'll see what I'm gonna have fun with all these games out of the way. But I'm just saying, when people are playing the game, and I don't know how the mass is going to feel when they can create a female baller that is not necessarily all that tall, and if they can assign them a LeBron James dunk package or something like that, I don't know how people really gonna feel about being able to do that in the game off rip. I really don't know. And then what about when it comes to setting screens, and you got this short female player, you got this big old hulky guy? See, that's the stuff that I'm like, I really don't know how that's all gonna translate. And this is the hypothetical what if stuff. And I'll say this too. This was said on the Facebook group and live group I was in. What happens in the event you see a dude, and people talk greasy on the mic when they playing the game and all that. What happens when a dude dunks on a female teabag? Now what's gonna be said? See what I'm saying?
That dunk was nuts.
That's what.
Oh man.
So this is what I'm saying. The realm of possibility, the potential. It could be good. It could possibly be disastrous. So I don't know, but I'm just saying this is the stuff being said. We'll see how things unfold. The demo comes out on the 24th. We'll see how it unfolds. But all I will say is this: the best games out here do their best to depict realism and authenticity. FIFA sells the millions they sell. PES sells the millions they sell. NBA 2K, MLB The Show, etc. Okay, I would love to see NBA Live get in that same conversation. Even Madden. I mean, I know it's the only game out, but still, I would love to see NBA Live in that convo, and not just because of the league, because of what it does overall. So that's why it's just me being a concerned gamer. That's exactly why I have that concern and do that. And we talk about it on these platforms like that. That's all. So I want the game to be outstanding.
I just want to say, a couple of things. I just want to jump back to what Sim said a while back ago, how he wanted, or maybe that was Smitty. One of y'all said that y'all wanted PlayStation to make a football game again, or Sony.
989.
I want NFL Fever back.
Yeah. Hey.
Quarterback club. Bring it back. Let's have all competition. See, this is what I want to see. I want to see quarterback club, Madden, NFL Fever, 2K. I want them and Sony to all go at it. But it's up to the NFL ultimately when it comes to that. We can wish it all we want, but it's up to the NFL ultimately.
Man.
Are they going to allow these companies to do it? That's where it's going to come down to.
Oof. Could you imagine? Just thinking about what you see from MLB The Show and what NBA 2K brings to the table, whether people like the game or not. I don't think nobody can deny when you glance at it, the game looks, it looks like the truth. It looks like a pure simulation. And because remember guys, simulation, I've always said it. You know, me and Smitty are hardcore gameplay guys, so we mainly talk about what happens in between the lines, in between the hardwood, etc., etc. But simulation, to me, is also the environment, what the game looks like, the overlays, presentation, all of that. NBA 2K is arguably the best simulation package that we had, along with MLB The Show. When you just look at them, I mean, I'm amazed still playing MLB The Show. Like, man, this game just, wow. I mean, it just looked like baseball. I don't know much about baseball, but to me, it just looks like what's supposed to be happening. And that's how NBA 2K looks. Madden, not so much yet. But the point I was going to make, and actually, guys, we're going to have to wrap up, man. We're a little past 10. But the point I wanted to make, imagine the Sony Studios doing football again and 2K from what we see them doing with NBA 2K. You would only believe it would be kind of like a carbon copy, like what I said EA should do, build all of their sports games up together. I really think 2K would probably do that. They would have some form of, I don't know about MyLeague, but they would definitely have a My Career type of thing in their football game at this point. But then think about what Madden would be alongside those games. Because then you can't sit back on your laurels and be like, oh, we could take our time. Nah. Then you bringing in all the devs, all of the engineers, all the animators, giving them a boatload of resources. Yo, do what you got to do to make sure we're number one. And EA being the biggest studio probably would end up being the better game. Let's just be real. So I would love that. But it's a greedy NFL, man, and you can't blame EA for making a game. Where I would blame EA is I'm tired of the handcuffs, man. Let the devs go to work. Stop holding Madden back. Yes, guys, we are feeling optimistic about what we're playing in Madden 19, but after all of that settles, you in your mind again, once you read and see what other people are doing, Smitty and I promote the whole we know they're behind aspect. We say that all the time. But even us, you still get tired of it because I still feel like the leaps aren't happening. I think it could be more progression in one cycle if the checkbook got open. But that's about all I got, man. Hook, man, Nighthawk, you got anything else, man? I mean, Nighthawk, before we roll.
Yeah, I just want to say one last thing about Madden. I think Madden needs to go to a live service.
Yes.
I don't think they need to make any more physical copies of Madden, but that's just me. That's just my opinion. I think they just need to this be the last Madden and just go to a live server, keep updating it. Maybe you could throw downloadable content on it. And then if you want to come back with Madden 2021, okay, I'm cool with that. If I gotta pay a subscription, I don't know, I'm just throwing a number out there, $24.99 a year. For updates, downloadable content, stuff to go to CFM, get a scouting thing in CFM mode, things of that nature. I'll be willing to do that, but that's just me though. I can't speak for the masses. That's just my opinion on it. I'm sure EA could come up with some way they could continue updating the rosters after the draft, in the offseason, all the moves, because they already got it in MUT with the mover packs and stuff. So I'm sure there's a way they could do it in CFM. But that's just the way I feel about it as far as 19 goes. I think EA needs to take the next step and go to a live server. Just let us pay a subscription and call it a day.
Yeah, man. I think that probably will happen. If you listen to what Clint said recently, he was on shout outs to DK. I can't remember right now, DK, your network. I think it's MSR. But I caught the tail end of an interview that he had on Twitch. So I think DK might even be here listening, guys. So if you are DK, if you can let everybody know exactly where that was. But Clint said that he feels like he thinks they are going towards that. Remember Rex asked us that a couple years ago? And also think about EA, Origin Access Premier? Mm-hmm. That whole $99 thing, and you get the game and all of its updates. That to me sounds kind of like a leeway into it. So I would love that, and I think we would get bigger and better games because it really wouldn't be any type of deadline. I guess they could just be working, and when they got something big, boom, update it. Like somebody said, just like Fortnite. So I hope they do it. I really do, man, because, again, I think it takes the deadlines off of the table. And then they could just continue to update. So that would be great. And, yeah, guys, I'm going to play, I think, the PC version perhaps tomorrow. I think I'm going to do, I might just do the little Origin Access, do the 10-hour trial. Just because I haven't, that'll be basically my first game on PC. And see how I like it. And then outside of that, I believe I'm going to get a copy on PC anyway, but I just want to try it first. But yeah, that's it, man. It's time for me to get myself ready for tomorrow's commute, guys. So we're going to have to get up out of here. But we appreciate everybody who came on. Jump came on. Oops. All right, guys. I closed out the Skype. By accident. Hold on. Let me get Smitty back on here. Hold on, guys. Y'all will hear it in a second. Let me get Smitty back on here so he can say his goodbyes.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, Smitty, you can tell I'm delirious right now. I closed out the call. But it was still streaming, so I told people what was up. So, Nighthawk, man, my bad. I hung up by accident, but we want to thank you for coming on. I want to thank Kiyah, Jumpman, Deron Smith, and I think that's it as far as everybody who came on. We appreciate everybody who came and tuned in. Hopefully you guys get your hands on the game, man. Give us all of your feedback. Give the devs all of your feedback, because I will say that you're going to see and find some things that we've already noticed. But before I hang up, Smitty, man, did you have any last words?
Oh, no. Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, all right. Now, final thing I gotta say, just of course, like always, we appreciate all of you guys being here. Thanks a lot for hanging out with us, especially people that got on the call here with us as well. This was always fun. Always enjoy this, and like Sim said, we definitely gonna be swan diving even more into this Madden, talking about it and things like that, and and of course streaming, as we can, and yeah, hey, I can't wait for people that haven't had their chance to get their hands on it. Feel how the game plays. If it's for you, cool. If it's not, that's cool as well. Voice how you feel about it. But ultimately, just play what you honestly enjoy at the end of the day. So
that's it. So, all right, guys, that is going to do it. Just to give, again, I have to remember some of you guys are new to us, so I have to say a lot of things repeatedly. Myself, for those who don't know, I'm fortunate enough to work from home 4 days a week, but Friday is the day that I actually commute. I live in Pennsylvania. I live in a city called York, Pennsylvania, not too far away from Baltimore, but far enough. It's like an hour. So what I basically have to do on Fridays, guys, my office is in D.C., so every Friday I travel to Washington, D.C. from York, Pennsylvania. Yeah, crazy, right? So that's why I will not be streaming tonight. I know a lot of you guys have asked that, and that's why I try to, kind of hurry up and rush off the show, because obviously need to lay it down, kiss the baby, kiss the wife, and go to sleep, and I wake up at 5 a.m. Friday morning. So for you guys that was asking, that's why I won't be streaming tonight. Smitty may or may not, but Smitty I'm sure will be streaming probably tomorrow, so make sure you check him out.
I'll do it tomorrow.
And I plan to stream sometime later on tomorrow night. Friday nights are always, kind of family night, go to the in-laws, such, and, probably later in the evening, maybe 10, 11 o'clock. I'll probably be on and rock out some games for y'all. So that's it, man. I got a couple more gameplays going up. One of them I will release probably here at midnight. And then I have another one tomorrow. So we try to give you guys as much as y'all can see. Our gameplay might not be the best, but at least you're able to see the game. So there you have it, man. Appreciate you guys coming through. Have a safe weekend. Enjoy some of the preseason football here. And we'll be back at you guys next Thursday. All right? Peace.
All right. Peace.